All right, welcome back to Promo Radio 24/7. I'm Jesse Jess. We're coming to you live from the legendary Matrix Studios in the Bronx, New York, the Matrix Studios. And as I mentioned before, we have a special show today. We have a special guest on the line. We have the one and only, the lovely Iva Foster on the line right now. How you doing?
Hello, how are you? I'm doing great.
I'm doing pretty good. All right. Now, you're I would say, I would describe you more like a spiritual gospel artist. Am I correct?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I am.
But your sound is a little bit more soulful and R&B-ish. Can you, for the people who are not familiar with you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and also describe your sound a little bit more in detail?
Okay. Well, of course, I'm originally from Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Currently live in Clarksville, Tennessee, and I'm a wife, a mother, grandmother.
Oh, wow.
A
Okay.
friend,
Okay.
motivator. I think my sound is very. I have a unique sound. I have been told that I, have my songs are more. Have an R&B feel.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? When I decided to go into this industry, I wanted to reach the people that were not in church. Because you have a lot of people that have gone through church hurt,
Right.
and they're just not going to step foot in church. And so I just wanted to have a sound that could reach, anybody globally. So, yeah, my sound is it's going to be a little different than what people probably are used to for churchy
Okay.
singing.
Okay.
It gets the message across.
Right. Right. And to piggyback off of that, in terms of your target market, who would you say you're trying to reach? Is it global, everyone, or is it particular market?
Yes, I think it's, just no limits. I believe in just having no limits. You never know who you can reach. So I don't want to limit myself to one particular gender or age group, because my music can transcend. I have different songs. It just depends on what stage I was going through in my life. I write a lot of my songs, explaining and just telling my story about things that I've gone through. So you can reach anybody. Music is just universal. It can, it doesn't matter about age, gender, location. It doesn't matter. So I just want to reach whomever I can reach it.
Right.
If I reach one person, that's great. So, yeah, I don't want to limit myself to just one particular.
Okay. Now,
But
when you're writing songs, do you write songs from the perspective of things that have gone on in your life, or do you, write from the perspective of, what has taken place, among your peers?
most of my songs are written from my personal experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, a lot of times in the church world, I grew up in the church. I grew up, my family grew up Pentecostal. So a lot of those times, you're not even allowed to tell your story. And so people have a tendency to believe that, everybody in the church are just perfect. Everybody just, like, we don't have issues and problems. And I just disagreed with that.
Okay.
And so I said, my story, the things that I go through are just as important. And you
Mm-hmm.
just never know. And because we just were not allowed to tell our story,
Right.
I know that there's other people out there, that may be going through the same thing. And your story could be the very thing that delivers somebody, that can uplift somebody. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why, I choose to, tell it all.
Right.
And I do it in my singing, my words,
You know what? And I can respect that and appreciate that. And, you know, and that's something, and listening to your music that is kind of drew me in, Now, for somebody out there right now who could be listening, who may have, who's going through hardships and may have lost the faith, what advice would you give to them?
I would just, basically don't give up.
Hmm.
I think that small, simple statement is so powerful because a lot of people are. You hear about a lot of suicides and stuff that's
Hmm.
going on around the world.
Right.
Man, if that person just know there is always tomorrow, like just don't give up. It doesn't matter how bad it looks. It doesn't matter where you are in your life. If you can just keep those three
Right.
words, don't give up. I think
Hmm.
you can make it to the next day. The next day is always going to be a little bit better. So if you can just get to that point, and then you have a little bit more strength, because God gives us strength for the day. And sometimes we don't rely on that. We're so focused on the things that we're going through, and it seems like you're never going to come out of it or
Right.
whatever that situation is. And man, if I could just tell somebody, if they could just listen, just don't give up. You're going to make it, you're going to make it.
Oh, those are some powerful words right there. Powerful. Well, I tell you what we're going to do is we're going to go into your first song, and it's called Joy on the Other Side of Pain. I want you to tell us a little bit about this song, what it's about, and then we're going to go into it.
All right. Joy on the other side of pain is just basically to encourage the next person. You may be going through now, but just know that there is hope for tomorrow. There is joy after the pain. I hope you enjoy it.
Okay. All right, so let's go into it. Promo Radio 24/7. We have Iva Foster on the line. We're going to go into a song, Joy on the Other Side of Pain. Promo Radio. Let's do it.
There is joy on the other side of pain, and there is sunshine on the other side of rain. Sometimes you gotta go through to get to what God has in store for you. There is joy on the other side of pain. I know it feels dark right now and you can't seem to find your way. Storms are coming strong. Yeah, the rainbow will come, but only after the rain. There is purpose in the midst of your pain, and there is joy on the other side of pain, and there is sunshine on the other side of rain. Sometimes you gotta go through to get to what God has in store for you. There is joy on the other side of pain. I remember the time when I wanted to give up and die. Everything was going wrong, and I didn't know. Sometimes you gotta go through what you don't wanna go through. There's a blessing waiting for you on the other side. Help me say on the other side, on the other side of pain. Sunshine, yeah. Sometimes you gotta go through. On the other side of pain. Come on and help me say, on the other side of pain. On the other side of pain. Sunshine. On the other side of pain. Yeah. You may be going through now, but you won't be always. On the other side of pain. On the other side. Don't you know there's joy? Joy. It's on the other side. It's on the other side. Joy. Joy. It's on the other side. Help me say other side. It's on the other side. It's on the other side. You can make it. It's on the other side. It's on the other side. It's on the other side. We've been made. Endure for a night, but joy will come. Hey, in the other side, other side, do other side.
Yes, welcome back, Promo Radio 24/7. I'm Jesse Jess, and we just heard Joy on the Other Side of Pain by Iva Foster. Wow, that is a beautiful song right there.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
beautiful, incredible message. Why don't you describe for us the joy you feel being a Christian, going through life every day? Describe to us that joy for you.
Man, sometimes you just really can't put into words. Man, it has it has totally changed my life.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I was just a young girl, just very depressed, just going through life, just not knowing who I was, making bad choices, looking for all the love, and like you say, looking for love in all the places.
Mm-hmm.
Just didn't feel worthy, just didn't feel, loved, and was always searching for that. So when I gave my life to Christ, like He made all the difference in the world.
Right.
Man, when He's done so much, like you can't help but tell somebody else. You can't help but you just want to do all you can for Him because He did so much, for us. And so I'm just so I don't know. I even when you go through, when you know Christ, even when you go through, you still have joy. You can have
Right.
joy in the midst of your trials, just because you know that He's there. You never have to face things alone.
Right.
He's always by your side, and I truly believe that with everything in me. He has proven Himself to be all that I need. He's proven Himself over the years, and so, man, I just they say, "Oh, taste and see." It's in the scriptures. "Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good." And so, give you joy, unspeakable joy. I'm telling you, it's just something to experience. It's just something to experience. You have to just dive in.
Wow, that's a
I love
that's
it.
a beautiful, beautiful testimony right there. Now, a lot of the youth today feel alienated from the church. For some reason, there seems to be like a breakdown in that bridge, between the church, the pastors, and the youth. Some of the youth seem misguided. They're looking, they're out there searching. What advice would you give to, some of the younger people who may be listening, in terms of where they're kind of like on the sidelines, but they want to, give their life over to Christ and so forth? What advice do you have?
Man, my heart goes out to the youth because, unfortunately, in the church, it is a lot of things going on now that's been exposed. It may have been going on for years, but
Right.
now it's becoming, it's coming into the forefront, and people are really seeing it, and it is it's driving our young people away. They don't want to be a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I always, I know that God, He had 5,000, He said, that haven't bowed to Baal or kissed His image. So that's saying that God does have soldiers out there. He does have people that are real. You have to use your, we have that intuition, just say women's intuition, but I think we all have something in us, that kind of leads us and guides us.
Right.
I just say pay attention to that, because, and just keep searching. I think if you're looking along with your prayers, that God will lead you to the right place. God is so real, I know people want to water it down and everything, but man, you have to experience it to know. Like I said, nobody can change my mind. Nobody can tell me,
Right.
that He's not real. I'll go to my grave for it because I've walked it, I've experienced it, and I'm yet experiencing it. So for the young people, I think we just have to continue to pray for them because it's a struggle for them. They're seeing pastors falling, and no one, there's no perfect person. Only Jesus was perfect, but that walked this land. But it's
Right.
like they're looking for,
Right.
they're looking for realness. I just think we just have to be real, we all fall. We all make mistakes. You know, that doesn't mean that Jesus don't love us. That doesn't mean that we're not called to do His purpose. You know,
Right.
so I think we just need to be real. Just walk in that realness, and then I think there will be more apps to come in. You know, because as long as they see fakeness, they're not coming. You know,
Right.
they're like, mm-mm. So we just
Yeah.
have to be real and be that example. Yeah,
Great.
it's
Well,
it's it's rough for them.
I like the way you put that, and yeah, a lot of the youth they are looking for that. They're looking for that realness, and so I like the way you put that. Well, I tell you what we're about to do. We're going to go into your next song, and it's called "So Amazing," and I want you to tell us a little bit about that track, and then we're going to go into it.
So amazing. It's basically my testimony, you know, that I'm just pouring my love basically on him and just letting everybody know how amazing he is. And I know that others have experienced the same thing. So that's just basically what it is. It's a personal testimony that I'm hoping to inspire others.
Okay, so let's go into it. Promo Radio 24/7. Iva Foster, "So Amazing." Let's do it.
I'm overwhelmed by your love for me. You died on the cross so that I can be free. I'm not the same because of your grace. You are amazing. You are amazing. I am not the same. You can't change mine. No longer will I ever, but I'm walking. I am not the same. No. You came and changed my life. No longer will I ever, but I'm walking in victory. So amazing, yeah, amazing God. Searched all over, yet I couldn't find nobody. Nobody who could love me like you. You love me in spite of me. Yeah. You looked beyond my fault and you saw my needs. Yeah. When I look back over my life, I see your hand always providing, always protecting me. You're so amazing. Yeah. You're amazing, God. You're an awesome God. You're a healer. Yeah. Healer of all of my sickness. You are healer of all diseases. You are healer of my broken pieces. Oh, amazing God.
let me ask you, who are some of your influences? Um, in terms of people in your life or artists, who are some people who have influenced you to do what you're doing, to pick up a mic, and sing and pick up a pen and write?
Wow. I think my greatest influence would be my grandfather. He noticed the gift when I was just a little girl, and he told me that that I would be singing. Um, and even though I strayed, he was a pastor at the time, and even though I strayed away and did my thing, he
Right.
always, would come and encourage me and say, "Man, this is what I see for your future. I see that God has called you to do this." And so he never gave up. He just never gave up. And so I don't really know where I got the writing from. I've always just been a writer. I love to write. I just write my feelings down, and so that just kind of became natural for me. There are so many artists. I don't want to just I'll be named because any type. I can be inspired by any type of music or any artist.
Right.
Something will always grasp my attention. So there's just several artists out there. But as far as the person that influenced, it would be my grandfather.
Mm.
Um,
Okay.
he just passed away back in August, and so
Oh,
I
I'm
will
sorry to hear about that.
forever thank you. But I will forever be grateful, to him just putting that spark there as a little girl. And I was singing ever since then. I had my little combs and my little brushes as microphones.
Right.
I'd be in the mirror, and so I'll never forget those moments, But I always felt that, wow, this is, man, I can do this. I really enjoyed it. I enjoy singing. That's a way I communicate. So I love it.
Nice, nice. And now, in terms of artists, who are some artists, musical artists that you listen to who, really inspired your sound and so forth?
Mm. You know, I love Marvin Sapp. I love his lyrics.
Hmm.
James Fortune, Tasha Cobb. Those are just a few, but it's like I said, it's so many of them. But I listen to those quite often. They stay playing on my album. So
Okay.
just I love anything that will uplift, that would just bring encouragement, that will, that could change a person's day. So
Right.
yeah, those are the ones. They have some powerful words, and the lyrics are really great. So
Hmm.
yeah, I'm inspired by those three, probably mainly.
Right. Great. Great. Now, if someone wanted to, you know, connect with you, hear more of your music, maybe purchase some music, find out about some of your live shows, where can they go? Is there a website or Instagram page, so forth?
I do have a website.
Okay.
It is www. Excuse me. Oh,
Um,
or I thought you said something.
yeah, I'm sorry. Can you repeat that again?
Okay. Yeah, it's www.iamladyiva.com.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, all of my music is on all of your digital outlets. You know, I can name them. I don't even know all the names to them, but
Right.
definitely your Amazon, CD Baby, iTunes, Google Play, your Apple. They're on all the digital outlets. So
Okay. Great.
definitely look. There have some great songs on there. So I know it encouraged somebody along the way.
Great. Great. I'm sorry. And repeat the website one more time.
Okay, it's www.iamladyiva.com.
Nice. Nice. Now, um, is there like one scripture that sticks out with you, or that that you always go to, that you may want to kind of impart to someone out there, want to check out? Is there a scripture that stands out with you?
The scripture that I typically go to, and I probably say this and everything, it's going to be Romans 28, and I think it's 28 and 9.
Hmm.
I'm not, but it says, I may have the actual chapter. Let me make sure.
Okay.
But it says, "For we know that all things work together for good to them who love the Lord and to the ones who are called according to His purpose." I think that scripture alone will get you through so much, so many trials in life, because we don't always have great days,
Right.
and sometimes bad things happen to good people, and so I think it's just important that we know that it doesn't matter what we go through. God is going to cause that thing to work for our good. And so if we can just hold on to that, I want to make sure I got that scripture down right. So
Right.
I don't want to destroy anybody. So it's Romans 8:28. It's Romans 8:28. Yeah, that scripture is so powerful. There's so many of them in there.
Okay.
But I think that's one I personally can relate to, because I look back and say, wow, those things that happened were bad, but they worked for my good.
Right.
I've learned something from that. So
Okay.
yeah, Romans 8:28.
Romans 8:28. Right.
Yeah, 8:28. Yes.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I would like to thank you for calling in and blessing us with your music. It's very inspirational. This was an incredible interview. You had a lot of great information. You're a source of information, so I really appreciate it. Any last minute shout outs? Anybody you want to shout out?
Shout out to my hubby Archie, my mother Patsy. Shout out to everybody who took a listen. I appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
All right.
I
Thank
appreciate
you so
that.
much. Iva Foster. This is Promo Radio 24/7. Once again, I told you it was a special show. And again, I'd like to thank you for calling in. And so that's how we do it. I'm Jesse Jess, and we're out.
Thank you.
Thank you.